The views and opinions expressed on the following program are not necessarily those of the staff and management of Salem Media of Hawaii.
Welcome to Generations Radio, where the focus is on our seniors and their families. We are here each Saturday afternoon from 5 until 6 p.m., bringing you resourceful information with our radio team of professionals in the field of aging. Stay with us for the next 1 hour as we explore different ways to make life more exciting and meaningful for our extraordinary seniors. Right here on AM 690 The Answer. And now, here is our host and the publisher of Generations Magazine, Percy Ihara.
Welcome back to Generations Radio. I am Percy Ihara, your host, every Saturday from 5 to 6. And as you guys know now, thanks to Salem Media, we have a Sunday show. We replay of Sundays from 3 to 4. So thank you very much to Salem Media. I am Percy Ihara, your host here every Saturday, Sunday, and we're going to go right into our show because I'm kind of excited because I know a lot about the Salvation Army, but just 5 minutes talking to Mr. John Chamness and Kyle, I learned a lot more. So welcome to the show, John Chamness. Now, John, you're the Divisional Leader.
Yes, I am.
Salvation Army.
Yeah.
And Kyle, you're with the Director of Planned Giving.
Yes.
I'm glad you came because we always encourage people to donate money and donate time and money. But John, give us a little bit of your background. I'm glad to see you here. I'm glad that you've been around for a long time, but I just was not aware that you've been all over the world with Salvation Army.
Yeah, the Salvation Army is in 126 countries around the world,
Wow.
and many people don't know that. Many people
Yeah.
think it's just an organization here in America, but it was started in London, England in 1865 by a guy by the name of William Booth, who was a circuit preacher for the Methodist Church. And when William Booth was walking through the East End of London, it was during the industrial kind of revolution of that era, 1865. He saw the poverty that was taking place, lots
Wow.
of people living under the bridge, and he really felt compelled that the church should not be just sitting in the pews on Sundays, but actually should be out doing something to help people in need. So he saw all these people under the London Bridge, and he turns to his son, Bramwell Booth, and says, Bramwell, do something about this.
Really?
And so that's kind of how the Salvation Army started. It's really, we talk a lot about the Salvation Army, about being the hands and feet of the church here in Hawaii, and that's really what we try to do. We really try to go out and help people in need in our community.
Well, you're doing great work, and I appreciate you coming on the show. I appreciate, joining Generations Magazine. We love you, and it's really interesting, and you've been all over the world, but I was not aware of that. So some of the places that you've been to, besides Seattle, right?
Yeah. So born and raised in Seattle, and in 1989, my wife and I were transferred here to Hawaii.
Because she's a local girl.
She's a local girl, born on
Good for you.
Kauai, raised here on Oahu,
Wow.
graduated from Kailua High. So, so we spent 13 years here in Hawaii. 4 of those years were spent out in Micronesia. The Salvation Army also serves all of Micronesia from Marshall Islands, Costa Rica, Pohnpei, Chuuk, Guam, and Saipan. And that's a part of the area that I oversee today. So I regularly make trips out there. But we've also served in Seattle and in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, where we built one of these beautiful community centers, these Kroc Centers, like we have out here in Kapolei. Just an amazing facility with lots of different activities for the family.
Yeah, the Kroc Center, I've not been out there, but I know Kyle's going to invite me out there. But Kyle, so you're Director of Planned Giving, and you're relatively new to Salvation Army.
Yes, excited to be here. Thank you for having us on today.
Yeah, and we'll cover that a little bit later on, and also the Kroc Center. But and people really only know you for the kettles and know you do great work here. But what are some of the other things that you do?
Yeah, I hear people say all the time, I know you guys are a great organization. I know you guys do great work. I see your Christmas kettles, and I always go to your thrift stores. Thanks for shopping at our thrift stores. But what else do you guys do? So here, just in Hawaii, we offer a wide variety of services to this community. In fact, we touch 1 in 10 people here in the state of Hawaii. 117,000 people last year were impacted by the Salvation Army. So our thrift stores, many people don't realize that those thrift stores support the men that are in our treatment program. So we have down on Iwalei, the main thrift store, and then up above we have housing for men that are going through drug and alcohol treatment. The thrift stores, the sales from the thrift stores support that program. So that's how those men are able to get the drug and alcohol treatment that they need. So that's one of the programs that we offer. Down on Kaimel Key, we have a beautiful program. Many people don't know about this one as well, but it's the only program like it in the state of Hawaii where women can come with their babies or actually have baby while they are in drug and alcohol treatment. The judge might say to them, hey, if you want to keep your baby, you've got to go to the Salvation Army. So they come to us in Kaimel Key, and we do a great job of taking care of mom, helping her to get over her addiction. But we also work with baby, because baby often has many issues that they're facing from mom's drug abuse.
Yeah, that's a big property lot. I've driven by there many times. I play on your field over there. So that's on 22nd Avenue, I believe it is.
That's down on 22nd Avenue in Kaimel Key. Nice, beautiful 10-acre parcel that we have there. Up on the Poly, we have another drug and alcohol treatment program called Addiction Treatment Services, and that's the largest of the programs that we have. They serve about 1,300 men and women every year, and they do both inpatient and outpatient treatment. Again, just an amazing program, amazing things that they do. They're between the 3 drug and alcohol treatment programs that we offer here on Oahu. We serve over 2,300 men and women every year. We're the largest drug and alcohol treatment program here in the state of Hawaii. Many of the people that we serve either come right off the streets, right out of homelessness, or right out of prison to us, so that we can help them get all the tools that they need, so that when they go back out into society, they're really equipped well.
That's really good. Now, is that part of that? I heard of the drug court. Is that part of that as well?
We have a contract with the drug court, so they will judge will say, hey, before you can go back out and reunify with your family and friends and your community, you've got to go through the Salvation Army drug and alcohol treatment program first.
But do you have a waiting list for that? You must have a waiting list for that, because there's so much drug problems here in Hawaii.
I don't. I know we have a waiting list for our family treatment services in Kaimel Key. The other 2 programs, the Adult Rehabilitation Center and the Addiction Treatment Services, typically those are fairly large programs, so they can handle a lot of people at any one time.
Well, good for you.
So besides that, we also offer our summer camp out on the North Shore, where kids from around the state can come and spend an amazing weekend. And most of these kids, they can never afford to go to camp by themselves. Their parents just don't have the means to do that. So we have a scholarship fund. So every one of these 480 kids that couldn't come to camp get a great opportunity to come and spend a week out there. They do campfires. They do crafts.
So do you have a facility out there?
We have a 10-acre camp out in Mokuleia. We've been there since 1946.
Really? That's not Camp Erdman.
Nope, it's Camp Homalani.
Okay, well then we got to get out there.
Yeah, it's a beautiful site right on the ocean, and we've been there, like I said, since 1946. And every year we help, or we have about 500 kids that come through that camp. So other programs that we offer around the state, on the island, on the Big Island in Hilo, we have a program called Family Intervention Services. And many of our young people today really struggle with a number of different things, and sometimes kids get in trouble and they get referred to the court, and then the court refers them to us. And we try to help these kids deal with many of the issues that they're dealing with in their lives. We also will take those kids maybe that are in a foster care situation that aren't doing really well in that foster care situation, and we bring them to one of our safe houses, and we work with them and help them to really, get the skills that they need and get connected maybe with their families so that they can be reunified.
Well, these programs are really great, Kyle, and maybe down the road we should, even though Generations is a resource, senior resource magazine, but a lot of the grandparents and parents are taking care of their children. And they may be reading an article about these programs and tell their children, because we're finding our website, people go to our magazine website, we get about 900 new viewers every month. It's a lot for a small magazine, but here's a big component, what's called the bounce rate. How many people come to our website, how long they stay. Very few people have a bounce rate lower than 50, let alone lower than 20. We're lower than 20. We got as low as 8 on the Google Analytics bounce rate. So people are staying there, and they read average 11 pages per visit, average. So we want to get that information out there to the public, and so down the road we should talk about that. But yeah, so do you have you have Oahu, the Big Island?
We serve all of Hawaii, so we have programs on each of the neighbor islands, and we will, in Lahaina we have a program for homeless people where they can come and they can do their laundry, they can get a good square meal, they can get a shower, they can do all those things that maybe will help them to get a job. And we do counseling there. We do a lot of different things with those folks. That's down in Lahaina. Up in Kahului, we offer a similar program, Safe Haven. We actually have another program where we actually go out into the bush to really work with a lot of homeless vets. And other people like that are struggling, and we take the services to them. So they don't have to come to us. We actually go to them and make sure that they get the services that they need.
Hopefully we can replicate that on Oahu, because that's what we really need. Hopefully, that's a big animal to try and tackle. But
yeah, the homeless challenge here on Oahu right now is really significant, and it's something that didn't happen overnight, and it won't be taken care of overnight.
Right.
Down in Kaka'ako alone right now, there's over 500 people down in Kaka'ako. A good percentage of them are from Micronesia, and
that's what I hear.
My wife and I lived in the Marshall Islands for 4 years, and we travel even today out to each of the different islands in Micronesia, from Costa Rica to Ponape to Chuuk and to Guam and Saipan. And the big issue with many of the people that are in Kaka'ako, as well as just down the street here along the canal, is the lack of affordable housing here in Hawaii. And that's just a huge challenge. And it's something that's not going to go away until we figure out how to build affordable housing for people here in Hawaii.
It's really hard. I mean, I know that the mayor just signed a bill for the project out on the west side, 11,000 new homes. But really, what's affordable? Is 200,000, 300,000 affordable for a single family? I don't think so. So
yeah, I mean, if there were homes that prices, it would be great. But it's difficult even to find a house that price. The median price of a home right here in Honolulu right now is $719,000, and there's not many families, even those that are working a couple of jobs, that can afford $719,000.
Well, I think they got. I mean, that's not a topic, but I mean, get affordable rentals if anything, because to buy a property at to say 300,000, 20% down, that's $60,000. That's really hard to do, but. Well, anyway, that's another story. But,
yeah.
You have here, what's your Path of Hope? And that's a new initiative?
Yeah, Pathway of Hope. So this ties in with a couple of our existing programs. And as I shared earlier, we have 2,300 men and women that come through one of our 3 drug and alcohol treatment programs every year here in Oahu. And we find that when they complete our programs, they're doing really well. In fact, we can track them for 6 months. And we know that within 6 months following treatment, that they have no arrests, basically 0 arrests. They have basically 0 emergency room visits. We can just go down the line, and all those destructive behaviors that they were involved in before, when they were in their addiction, basically they're not involved in those. But after 6 months, when we're no longer able to follow them, just because we don't have the resources to do that, that's when they start getting into trouble again. That's when, unfortunately, some will relapse and go back to their addictive behavior because they don't have the tools yet. I liken our drug and alcohol treatment programs to an emergency room. And when you go to an emergency room, you really just get the basic care to get stabilized, to get, kind of your life just barely back together. But you haven't really dealt with the root issue of why you have your addiction in the first place. So the Pathway of Hope is all about following these individuals, or working with these individuals for up to 2 years once they complete treatment, to begin helping them to overcome the different barriers that they're going to face. When you come out of a drug and alcohol treatment program, everybody asks 3 questions: where am I going to live? Who's going to hire me? And who's going to be my new best friend? Because if I go back to my old friends, I'm very likely to go right back to my addiction. So this Pathway of Hope program is really about a case manager working with an individual to help them get a good job, a job that will pay them a livable wage, help them to find some place to live, like an Oxford House or something else where they can have supportive services that will continue their sobriety. But they also need a connection to new friends. And so that's where really the church comes into play. I really believe this is a great opportunity for the church here on Oahu to come surround these men and women who have come out of treatment and say, we want to help you, support you, continue your good success.
Well, I think it's definitely needed. Just sometimes the church feels, well, we don't want to deal with those kind. A lot of churches now actually are getting involved with senior issues. We had a couple of weeks ago, we had Project Donna, who was a very large faith-based organization that they work through the churches. That might be something to think about, but it's very important to continue that support level. But there must be a whole slew of success stories, yeah, John?
There are. We've just launched the Pathway of Hope just recently, but we've been doing this on a very small scale for the past 20 years for a few women that come through our family treatment services. And let me give you an example of one. A gal by the name of Mercedes. She came through our treatment program, and she came to our transitional living program in Manoa, where she lived for 2 years. And while she was there in Manoa, we helped her get back to school. Then we helped her get a job. We helped her get her kids back, and helped her establish a savings account. All those basic things that every one of us needs to really find success in our lives. There's many others that are just like this, that they just need somebody to walk with them, to help them to navigate, maybe it's the welfare system, or maybe it's to navigate how to get a good job, or how do I sign up for school? I've never done that before. I started using drugs and alcohol when I was 12 years old or 14 years old, and I dropped out of high school when I was 15, and I had my first baby when I was 16.
Wow.
And I was arrested maybe when I was 17. So I've never had a job. How do I get a job? How do I go back to school? How do I get my GED? So it's really helping them to do this, not us doing it for them, because that would be the wrong thing to do.
Right.
We don't want to continue their dependence on somebody else. We want to empower them to take care of their own lives.
Yeah, it's so important because, like you said, you don't want to be that crutch there for them.
Yeah.
It's so important. So what are some of the greatest challenges that you have with this programs?
With the Pathway of Hope right now, the greatest challenge is the resources to actually do this. We had some people come forward initially and commit $150,000 to get this off the ground. We've hired 3 case managers, but that's really just the tip of the iceberg. We need up to 10 case managers to really do this well. And once we've really figured out how to do this program really well with those coming out of our drug and alcohol treatment programs, we want to expand it to the homeless living down in Kaka'ako or Waikiki or right along the canal down the street. So it's a program that we really think that will really begin to address the issue of homelessness and poverty here in Hawaii. But it's not a quick fix overnight.
No.
It's not going to be like today they're on the streets and tomorrow they're gone.
They just moved them off the street last week, Tuesday, I think, and they're back. They were back Friday.
Yeah, this is an issue that has taken a long time to get where we're at. It's going to take time to correct it and really to bring it back to where it should be.
So you have a funding goal of $150,000?
We actually have a funding goal this year of about $500,000 to really fund this program the right way and to hire the case managers that we need to do this properly.
Yeah. Like drug rehab, homelessness, this is something that we have to, as a community, and that needs to support this, because we're not going to go forward without everybody's support. And that's one of the things that we're trying to do in Generations Magazine. As you guys know, in our April-May issue, we had a story about Coralie Matayoshi from the Red Cross. And we're trying to get people involved. We're trying to get people to get off the couch and give back to the community, because these problems are not going to go away.
Right.
And it's something that's really important. So if you're listening out there, if you want to find a way to support, give Kyle a call. Kyle, plan giving with the Salvation Army. Tell us what's going on.
Sure. Well, my job is to look for people who want to partner with us to help solve these issues in the community and help them leverage their assets to really make a difference in their community by supporting the Salvation Army.
Yeah. And I was telling you before we started, there's some agencies that I think we can get you to get network with them, because you guys do such great work, not only for the seniors, and we'll talk about it later on, but really with the community, with the drug rehab and the homelessness. Because, if you can get that program like you have on Maui here on Oahu, I know it's a bigger numbers, but if there's a way to do that, I think find ways for the state or the federal government to help out, because I don't know any other. We've talked. I sit around with friends talking. After I play golf or softball, it always goes to these major community issues, and everybody has these 2 cents about how to solve these problems. But it's really going to take the community as a whole, not just one entity.
That's exactly right. So, the mayor and the governor both feel pretty passionate about helping to figure out how to solve these problems, and both of those guys, both the mayor and the governor, really have. I think a passion to see this solved. But the problem is nobody knows what to do. I think we have a plan through the Pathway of Hope. This is one way that this can really be dealt with. This is not just us dreaming up or coming up with some idea out of a hat. We've actually spent the last 2 years looking at best practices across the country. We've looked at a lot of research, and all the research says that if you're going to really help end systemic poverty and systemic homelessness, that the only way to do it is to work with people in this fashion, where we come alongside them and really help them to begin to overcome the barriers and challenges in their life. People in poverty often have so many challenges to get out of poverty. They just don't know how to do it. They don't have the resources.
Right.
For example, I'm a guy coming out of drug and alcohol treatment. I don't have any job skills. I don't have any money. I don't have any friends or family because I've burned all those bridges. So what do? Where do I go? I'm going to either go into some halfway house someplace or right back out on the street. But what if we came alongside that person and said, we're going to help you get a job. We're going to help you get the tools that you need to get a job. And then we're going to help you to find a house, because they come out of treatment, they have no money. They don't have anywhere. They don't have the ability to pay first and last month's rent. So where are they going to go? What are they going to do?
Or good credit, or maybe any references.
Absolutely. They don't have anything. So the idea of the Pathway of Hope is that, hey, we're going to come alongside you. We're going to help you to find those resources, to get that apartment, to get that job, to find new friends that will help to support you and to hold you accountable. That's a really big part of, AA or Celebrate Recovery is coming alongside people and holding them accountable. Having that mentor, that counselor that you can call when you feel like you want to go out and use again. Instead of using, you call your buddy and say, hey, I need some help.
Yeah. So let's say somebody hears about the program. What would they do? They would call the Salvation Army. And what's that process really quickly?
In terms of if it's somebody that wants to get involved with the Pathway of Hope, or they have a need to be involved in the Pathway of Hope, right now we're really limiting it to those that are coming out of our drug and alcohol treatment program. So right now we're not accepting outside referrals, except for money, so we can support this.
Right. But people that really need the program, that's what you're talking about.
Right. Right now we're just not equipped to handle a large influx of people. We don't have the staff yet to do it. We just started a couple of months ago, so the program is up and going. We're having great success in our early stages, but we need to get through the next 3 to 5 months or 6 months before we can start taking on additional caseload.
Yeah, when you want to do it right, so I'm glad you're doing that. So, Kyle, we're gonna take a short break here, but we're gonna want to talk more about the planned giving, where the money goes, how can people donate their time, and if you got any events coming up later this year. We're here with the Salvation Army with John Chamness, from the Divisional Leader for the Salvation Army here in Hawaii, and Kyle Karioka, the Director of Planned Giving. We're going to take a short break. We'll be back just shortly.
We will be right back with Percy Ihara from Generations Radio. If you have any questions or want to be part of our discussion, give us a call at 296-5467. That's 296-5467. This is Generations Radio on AM 690 The Answer.
I was an addict from the age of 13. I finally decided it was time for a change. I walked into the Salvation Army Adult Rehabilitation Center, and that got me ready for the real world. Now, I choose to be guided by Jesus Christ, and today, I'm building a powerful and promising future, free from drugs and alcohol.
Please shop at the Salvation Army family stores. With our discounted sales, your support through your purchase helps men live a clean, sober, and productive life.
Simplify your life by opening a My Social Security account. What's My Social Security? It's a secure, online account that allows you immediate access to your personal Social Security information. During your working years, you can use My Social Security to view your Social Security statement, to check your earnings record and see estimates of the future retirement, disability, and survivor benefits you and your family may receive. If you receive benefits, you can get a benefit verification, check your benefit and payment information, change your address and phone number, and even change your direct deposit information. Open a My Social Security account today and simplify your life. Just visit www.socialsecurity.gov/myaccount. While you're online, check out all the other things you can do at www.socialsecurity.gov.
Today, more than ever, we local people are living longer than any other state in the Union, with more seniors, baby boomers, and caregivers. Generations Radio promotes the importance to be proactive as we all age. The radio team will focus on issues facing our seniors and their families, finding resources to navigate healthy aging along with financial, legal, and caregiving information. So join Percy Ihara from 5 until 6 each Saturday, right here on AM 690 The Answer. Focusing on the issues facing our seniors and their families today. Here's our Generations Radio host, Percy Ihara.
Welcome back, everybody. This is Percy Ihara from Generations Magazine and the radio show, here every Saturday from 5 to 6 and Sunday from 3 to 4. And I did want to make sure everybody is aware We're on social media, so you have to like our Generations Magazine page. We are on LinkedIn and Twitter. So, John, don't ask me how those things really work. All I know how to post on Facebook and post on LinkedIn. Give me a few more months. I'm gonna get up to speed. But please like our page. You know, I didn't even know you have to like our page.
Yeah.
I said, how do people know about us? They have to like you. What does that mean, like? So I said, you got to tell people, click on the like thing. And I look at, I look at everything on my smartphone here, and I can barely see that little thumb like. That's what you do. You got to click on the like page. So Kim here, our engineer, is the young one. So I'm trying to, she's slowly educating me a little about it. In fact, you're the one who told me, you got to like your page. So please like our page.
And tell your friends to like your page too, right?
Yes, sir, John. That's really important because, like I said, our website is really growing, and we meet with our web guy, Peterson Rosario, every month, and we find our numbers really great. And like I said, there's very few people that have a bounce rate below 20, which we're at 18, between 8 and 18 every month. Average 11 pages of views every visit, which is unheard of. So go ahead, because we house all our radio shows there, and we also house our all the past issues, starting with our first issue with Kirk Matthews in October 2010. And we also have on our website, right on the front page, our Aging in Place videos of our presentations. And don't forget, this year's Aging in Place workshop is at the Alamon Hotel, Saturday, August 15th. We expect over 1,200 people there. It runs from 8 to about 2:45. And so, and we're going to have over 65, 70 exhibitors there as well. And so that's where you want to come. For nonprofits, they're anywhere from free to $100. Let me know if you want to have a table there, because the key thing about that is that all the agencies and all the people in our senior network will be there. And it's not something that people walk in and walk out, pick up stuff. We're going to have 5 different rooms of information, caregiving. The big room, we're going to have Alzheimer's this year. So thanks to the Alzheimer's Association, legal, financial, caregiving, healthy aging. Dr. Shintani is going to be there. So I love that guy. He does a great presentation. Exercise management and exercise tips from Diane Cadena, our personal trainer, as well as who else? Off the top of my head, senior move managers and Declutter Hawaii, which is probably one of the biggest topics. We house it on our website, and that is the biggest viewed video we have.
Interesting. Wow.
And the Salvation Army is planning to be there as well.
Great.
Well as the senior fair that's coming up in
September. Yeah. They're 2 biggest events of the year, so thank you very much. So, John, we're here with John Chamness from the Divisional Leader for Salvation Army, and Kyle Karioka from the Planned Giving Department. So, Kyle, let's say somebody's listening to the show. How can people get involved? How can people donate, and how can they partner with you folks?
Sure. Well, like I said, my job is to find folks who want to partner with us, who share our mission of helping those in the community. And anybody of any means are able to do that through bequests in their will, or if folks want to use their assets now and want to give when they at that time, they can do that. They can also give gifts of stock, set up things like charitable annuities that provide people with lifetime income while still donating.
Yes,
Salvation Army.
Those are wonderful. Even in a life insurance policy.
Sure, you can name us as beneficiaries in life insurance policies too. But what I really love about my job is that I get to help these folks who might not be able to make a large gift during their lifetime, leave a legacy, and help support the community through the Salvation Army, through something like their will or a beneficiary designation.
Yeah, like I said, as a senior resource magazine, we want to provide all this information, and it's really important that people give back. And like I think leaving a legacy is really, really important for a lot of families out there. As I do the mortgage business on my full-time job is my mortgage business, and we're finding more and more people that don't have children want to find a way to give back to the community. So it's a great way, and you guys do a fantastic job. And John, I'm glad you are here, because I wasn't aware how vast. You said 126 countries?
126 countries around the world, right.
Wow,
yeah.
That's really good. Now, you wanted to talk about volunteerism, and you're looking for volunteers to help out with your program there in Kamaki.
Yeah, so we can use volunteers year-round from our Christmas kettles at Christmas season. If anybody wants to come out and help us to ring bells at Christmas, we can do that. We have our Leon Day coming up in June.
Yeah.
When is that? What is that?
That's Leon, so Noel backwards.
Oh, okay.
Merry Christmas in June.
Oh, what is that going to be?
We're going to be, I think, down at
we'll be downtown,
Walmart
and we'll be at Walmart, and we'll also be
the Four Corners.
at the Four Corners as well, ringing bells just like it's Christmas.
And so, ringing bells with the kettles and everything. Oh wow!
Just for a couple of hours down. Is it Bishop Square or Tamarind Park?
Yep, right at that corner, at the Four Corners of
is it a specific
King Street
day,
and Bishop
Kyle?
Street. 25th of June. Yeah, 25th of June.
From 11 to 1. I believe.
11 to 1, yes, and we'll be at Walmart locations during that day as well, collecting donations, and just to remind folks that the holidays are coming up soon, but that the need is throughout the year.
That's really great. I think we always try to get our son to donate money. In fact, he just donated money, and the teacher emailed me and said, "Oh, your son just donated $20 for the Heart Walk."
Oh, nice.
I said, "Oh," he didn't even tell me that. And so my teacher tells me, "Oh, your son has money." He goes, "Yeah, he's got his own money for allowance and things he does around the house." And yeah, he just donated $20. I said, "Wow, that's really great." So I think we might want to get him involved with this
absolutely
kettle ringing, because I think you're at a lot of the stores, and we always go during that time, and we always give him $1 or $2. But I think he would love to do that.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Because he just did scouting, and he raised the most money in scouting for the Makahiki last month. And so, yeah, we're trying to get him to understand that everybody needs to give back. And so it's a great time to learn at a younger age.
We do have a lot of school groups who do come out to ring bells, even baseball teams, things like that.
That's a great one.
If they want to get their kids involved with their teams, then they don't have to do a whole day. You can do some shifts with various kids in your team or sports clubs, things like that.
Well, I coach his baseball team in Manoa, so we should do. You guys do Manoa Shopping Center? I'm going to
absolutely,
okay.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to find our Manoa Cubs baseball teams. We have a whole farm over there, about 50 kids, so we got to get them involved with that. But I like the part about volunteering for your Kaimuki project.
Yeah, so we have this great program down in Kaimuki. Like I said earlier, it's the only program like it in the state of Hawaii where mom can actually bring baby or actually deliver baby while she's in her drug and alcohol treatment program. But these babies are often dealing with many issues that come from mom's drug or alcohol abuse. And we often need volunteers that will sit in our therapeutic nursery and just hold these babies and just rock them. They just need a really nice, quiet spot where somebody can hold them and embrace them and care for them in that way. And we always need volunteers to come and help us to do that.
Well, the most caring mothers are our grandparents, and I know there's grandparents raising grandchildren programs, but I think that might be a great way for seniors, especially in the Kaimuki area. Kaimuki actually is the number one highest concentration of seniors in the state.
I didn't know that.
Honolulu Valley is number one. But Kaimuki is number two. Kaimuki used to be number one. I know because my older brother's a senator in Kaimuki, Senator Leslie Howard Jr., but now Honolulu is. I think Honolulu is a smaller community, but very active. They have the largest senior club in the state.
Interesting.
And I believe it's a Tuesday or it's a Thursday, Honolulu, right below the bridge, the highway, there's a bridge underneath. Mm-hmm. Their group meets every week. And I believe they have over 250 people, seniors only now, that meet. This club is so big, there's a waiting list.
Wow. That's amazing.
So unless somebody passes away, that slot's not going to open up. The only reason why there's a waiting list is because that capacity is 250 people in that gymnasium. And seriously, and it's amazing. They're organized, so we might want to get you to talk out there, because
that'd be great to go down and speak to groups like that.
Otherwise, I know Kaori, who runs a senior club at Kahala Elementary. They have a senior group about 20 to 30 out there. So I know Kaori out there. They're based right at Kahala Elementary. There's a little pavilion on the side of the tennis courts. They meet I believe it's every Thursday morning.
Oh, that's awesome.
I know her as well.
That's cool.
And Percy, for groups like that, we do offer estate planning seminars. It's no obligation, no solicitations are involved. Just we bring in professionals from the community to offer that as a service to our seniors and just folks in the community as well. So if there are groups like that are interested in having us come in and do that kind of thing, we're happy to join them that way.
We might want to promote that as well down the road. Maybe we should try and plan a bigger one, because we can get all the clubs involved, let alone the Manoa community where you're at. So we can do that as well. But I did want to talk to one senior program that you have, the Adult Day Center.
Yeah.
Now, you have one?
We have one adult daycare. It's down on the corner of Vineyard and A'ala. We've been there for a long time. We were kind of at the forefront of adult daycare programming. And Stacy runs that program for us and does a great job of providing a wonderful service for for our parents. You know, a great place where, you know, kids can drop off their parents for the day on the way to work, on the way to downtown. And we have a nurse on staff. So we do provide a great service. There's lots of activities and different things that take place during the day, but it's a wonderful program. Not many people know about it. It's right there on Vineyard, but we don't have really great signage on the street.
Yeah,
so
you can drive right by. I've driven by myself, actually. It's near the credit union, isn't it? Somewhere down that side?
Olive Street and Vineyard.
Okay, yeah, it's right around
by
there.
the on-ramp.
But yeah, I think it's really important for people that work downtown. You know, we would always ask since we started 5 years ago to have magazines downtown, and we finally put some last year. And there's a small magazine rack on by Pioneer Plaza, by Central Pacific Bank on Alakea, in front of the post office on King Street, Richards. We are down by Bank of Hawaii on Bishop Street. So it's really important to get that word out there, because a lot of professionals downtown take all the magazines because they're looking for resources for their parents. But I really think adult day centers are going to grow.
They are,
because people can't take care of them while we're still working.
It's the largest growing segment of our population right now. With us baby boomers getting older and older, it's going to be an important need that we provide to our community. So we've been doing it for many years, and we do a great job of providing.
I met Stacy, and actually, what people don't realize that, you know, if you're going to take care of your parent or pay for a caregiver that pay $22 to $24 an hour, most companies have a minimum 3 hours to buy into that thing. Where I think your prices are what, 70 to 65 to 75 a day.
So our daily rate for adult daycare is is at $57 a day for adult daycare. Health one at $72, and then for the third stage it's $88. So it really depends on the amount of service that they require. If they're fairly independent, they just need a place where they can be involved in activities and exercise classes and all the different things that we provide there. It's only $57 a day, which is a great rate to make sure that your mom or dad are taken care of.
Probably one of the lowest I've heard of, actually. And it's a great place to drop them off, come pick them up, just like you as a child. And it keeps them busy. I tell people that they really look at it for the parent because they need social contact.
They do.
That's so important.
One of the real, not dangers, but one of the real challenges for many of our kapuna today is that they're sitting alone in their apartment or their house all day long. They don't have any socialization. And unfortunately, seniors have a very high rate of suicide because they don't have that social interaction that they need. Yeah. We are people built for community. We need interaction. It's real important that we have an opportunity to be with others. So,
but that comes with a meal as well, though.
It comes with
it does include breakfast,
lunch, and
a morning and afternoon snack.
Wow, when can I join?
I was just there last week, and they have cooking classes. They were doing an art class. They were making pizza when I was there. It was wow. There's one person there from the dough and and everything from scratch.
Yeah, it's so important to get them moving, get them out, and get some social contact. Because a lot of these shut-ins, as I call them, are just it's not good. It's not healthy.
Yeah, people sometimes think they can't afford it or it's too humbug or whatever. But come down and visit with Stacy and our staff at the Salvation Army Adult Daycare Program. Talk to them, see what we can do to help support you. I mean, it's a very trying time for families sometimes to be, worrying about mom or dad home alone all day, and are they okay? What are they doing? And here you're assured that they're in a great place. It's safe. Easy to drop them off. On your way into town, on your way into work, you can drop mom or dad off, and they're set for the day.
And I think your hours of operation. I'm trying to look at your brochure here. Your hours of operation is from 6:30 to 5:30. 6:30. That's great for people that work downtown.
So makes it very easy for them to drop them off on the way in, and then after work, pick up your mom or dad on the way home.
Yeah, it's so important. And I did want to talk a little bit about your new property out in Kapolei, your Kroc Center. Can I ask about that? Because I'm hearing so much about this.
We were so fortunate a number of years ago. Ray and Joan Kroc, the founders of McDonald's, Joan Kroc came to us and said, I want to build a community center with you guys, and I want you to dream big. So we built the first Kroc Center in San Diego, and it was just an amazing facility, and Joan was really instrumental. She selected the property that was built on, and that's a 200,000 square foot facility with an NHL hockey rink and two pools and a performing arts theater and a library, and the amenities just go on and
Do
on.
we have
and
a hockey
on.
center here?
We don't have a hockey center, but we have an amazing performing arts center.
I hear.
There's 2 swimming pools, state-of-the-art swimming pools. The competition pool is a Murtha pool built in Italy. It's the state-of-the-art pool used by all the Olympic teams because they are so fast. It's just a beautiful, beautiful pool. But in the leisure pool, sometimes people think, oh, that's just for kids, but it's actually for the whole family. For seniors, they do water walking classes, and this is a great low-impact aerobic exercise for seniors or those that need that type of activity. We also have a number of life enrichment classes for seniors, and many of these are free. We have Genealogy 101. It's free for seniors to come and research their genealogy. We have Seniors Mixed Plate. We have a vision board too, and I'm not exactly sure what that is, but it sounds like fun. We have Microsoft Word Basics. So if you're a senior and you want to get on the computer and learn how to navigate from Facebook to anything else, we offer classes out there at the Kroc Center so seniors can gain those skills.
Yeah, it's so important. They're so afraid of the computer, but I always tell seniors, just do something simple. You know, there's a class coming up during the summer. It's over here, right down the street here at Honolulu Community College. Basically, how to turn the computer on, how to make sure you're set up properly, basic Word documents, how to do Facebook. I think Twitter as well. But it's really important to get them to use your brain and use, their life to learn things.
We have a lot to learn from our kapunas, and so often we stick them in a room and just kind of lock them away. But what a great opportunity we have to actually learn the stories of our kapunas and all the things that they've been through. My wife's mom just turned 95 just a few weeks ago, and this lady has an amazing story. And I know that those stories are repeated over and over again by the seniors in our communities. And wouldn't it be great to kind of capture those stories and to learn, what was Hawaii like back in the 30s and 40s? And, my father-in-law worked in the cane fields. He immigrated from the Philippines and worked in the cane fields and lived in the plantation camps and things like that. I would love to learn those stories of
what a genealogy class that you mentioned, but it's also great because you're on the west side.
Yep.
There's so many times the programs and resources are here in Honolulu proper. So it's so great for the Kapolei side, and it's going to grow. So I think it's really, really important. So thank you on that. So when people want to give to Path of Hope, so what's that process? Do they donate money, or you do an intake of volunteer services?
If people want to donate to the Pathway of Hope, they can call us at 988-2136, and they can ask for Kyle or somebody in the development team, or they can go online to our website at hawaii.salvationarmy.org, hawaii.salvationarmy.org, and there's a link there on how to donate to the Salvation Army, and you can indicate there that you want it to go to the Pathway of Hope.
Well, I definitely want to take you up, Kyle, and try and find a way to promote your planned giving workshops as well, because I'm a big believer in that. And that's what the magazine does as well, because we do promote, do other promotions and support some state and city programs. So I'm more than happy to help you out with that.
Thank you.
We didn't talk about your Manoa property. What's going on over there?
Our beautiful Manoa property,
Yes.
I tell you, what a beautiful place, a beautiful hideaway back in the jungle of Manoa. So we've had that campus since probably around 1900, when that was given to us by George Wilcox, and it was originally 30 acres. And back when it was first established, it was a children's home for kids that had been orphaned, or for one reason or another, mom or dad couldn't take care of them. So we used to have some large dormitories up there in Manoa where we took care of all these different kids. And in 1922, to help support those kids in those programs, we built the Waioli Tea Room, our world-famous Waioli Tea Room. Yes, it was built in 1922, and it was originally built to provide the kids an opportunity to learn a skill, how to cook, how to wait tables, how to bake bread. And back then we were connected with the Punahou wives of all the professors down at Punahou, and they would help to sell our baked items out throughout Manoa Valley.
Great.
And that's how that program was originally supported and established. In the 50s and 60s, we had a number of programs called booth homes, where young girls who got pregnant out of wedlock and they were needing a place to stay, they would come and live with us, but they would also work in the tea room so that they could gather or gain a skill that could then help them when they, after they had their baby and moved out. And I still get calls from families today who said, who will say, my mom or my grandmother learned how to cook at the Wiley Tea Room. And they just rave about how we were able to support them and help their family during that time. Well, today the Wiley Tea Room currently is sitting vacant. We tried to run it for a year ourselves and found out that running a restaurant is a really difficult thing, that margins are very tight, and we don't have the expertise to run a restaurant. We have the expertise to run great drug and alcohol treatment programs and thrift stores, but we really don't have the skill set to run a restaurant.
That's a tough business.
It's a very tough business, very competitive business, and because we're the Salvation Army, we don't serve any alcohol or liquor. So that's where often where you make your sales in a restaurant. So we're actually out there working with a vendor right now. We hope to have something worked out in the near future, and our goal right now is to have the restaurant back open this fall. So we are working towards that effort at this time.
Too bad you can't find a partnership with KCC and a cooking school. I know they're building a new plant in Diamond Head, I believe. But it's too bad you can't find a way to use their students.
We actually met with them, and because they're focused on building this new place, they really need to focus on that.
Yeah,
I completely got it. But it would have been a great place to have a kind of a demonstration kitchen or a learning center where you actually get to cook and then work in a restaurant, and more of an active learning center. So
yeah. Well, good luck on that. I was in the restaurant business before I got in my mortgage business. I was in restaurants from 1978 to about 88, 89. So I get that's a tough business. But I know so what else do you have at the property over there besides the restaurant?
So on the Manoa campus, we have our administrative offices for the Salvation Army here in Hawaii and Micronesia. We also have one of our transitional programs for women that have completed drug and alcohol treatment in Kaimauki. Then a few of them can transfer up to our 2-year transitional housing.
You have housing up in Manoa?
We do. Yep. We have some cottages there that we can house, I believe it's 12 women altogether along with their kids. And it's just a wonderful program where mom really gets the help that she needs, that continued help. She's dealt with her drug and alcohol treatment. Now she needs help with going back to KCC. So every morning I see mom pushing baby down to the bus stop. She's getting on the bus.
Wow.
She's going over to our preschool in Kaimauki. Then from there, she's going up to KCC to go to school, or she's going off to work for the day. And then at the end of the day, she has to repeat that whole cycle and come back, pick up her kid, and take the bus back up.
What
to
a
Manoa.
safe haven, and what a great support for them.
It's a really great place for mom just to have a really safe, comfortable, beautiful place to get kind of life back together again.
Yeah. So, Kyle, you must have some success stories and some of your plan giving. What are you guys focusing on right now?
Well, like I said, my job is to find folks, who want to partner with us to give in a big way if they might not be able to during their lifetime. A lot of the properties that we run our programs out of were gifts, legacy gifts that folks left, in their wills to us. So that's something that we're always looking for. But in addition to that, we have programs where things called, that's a charitable gift annuity, where you would make a gift to the Salvation Army and actually receive income for life from the principal of your gift. So, for example, if somebody was 75 years old and made a donation of $50,000, they would receive about a 7% return for the rest of their life. And the remainder goes to the Salvation Army. So not only are you helping the community, but you're also, helping to provide a stable source of income for yourself as well. And
that's a
for
real
your family.
popular way to give.
It is. It's one of the ways that people like to support us most frequently. It's easy, and it's not a lot of people know about it, but it's a very powerful tool for your retirement planning if you're in need of to divest of some assets, but also to get some income as well. We can also take that in the form of stocks. So, for example, if somebody wants to donate a large volume of stocks that might have gone up quite a bit since they bought them, if they convert it to a charitable gift annuity, they get a tax deduction immediately, and then they also get to some benefits with the capital gains taxes are deferred.
Yeah.
And
so if they cash that, they're gonna have a big capital gain.
Sure. Whereas if you cashed it, you would be hit with quite a big chunk that goes to the government.
Year.
So rather than having things go to the government, you can help
That's really, I work with a lot of financial advisors. That's really important because it's going to go to the government. They're going to get their cut. Unfortunately, that's just the way life is, and death and taxes only guarantees. But they must give. I think property is another thing. I think that hopefully people are going to look at it as well.
Absolutely. And if for folks who, their kids might already have their own places to live and might not need another property, or might not want to be burdened with another property, you can give a portion of it to the Salvation Army, or all of it if they so desire. And those kinds of gifts really make a huge impact in our community, because they're something that we can depend on in the future in order to build our programs and to do so much more to serve the folks that we serve.
It's more of a long-term plan, because if people have rental properties, that capital gain on that is huge for investment property. They always talk about 1031 exchanges, but that just defers the tax burden down the road.
But the tax things are just kind of a bonus, I think, when really the satisfaction of helping the community and making a gift that lasts longer than your lifetime is worth more than, I think, the tax
part of the legacy, and put their name on it.
Absolutely.
So we got a few more minutes. Anything else, John, you want to cover today?
Well, we haven't covered that we have what we call our Silver Crest affordable housing for seniors out in Wahiawa.
Oh, that's right.
And that's a really great program. It's a HUD-funded, HUD-run. We actually run it, but HUD-funded program. So this is a great opportunity for seniors who are living on a fixed income that can't maybe afford some of the rental units here in town, that we have our senior residents out in Wahiawa. It's a beautiful facility.
I know there's a short waiting list, but I tell everybody, just get your name on the waiting list.
Exactly. If you're living on a fixed income and really struggling to make ends meet, get on our waiting list out in Wahiawa for that Silver Crest. And when something opens up, hopefully they'll get a chance to live in one of our apartments out there.
It's so important, Don. We got to look at long term, and that's why the planned giving, Kyle, is more long term. But that property, any state and city property right now, there's got to be at least a 2 or 3 year waiting list. So I know yours is a little bit shorter than that, but get your name on the waiting list. But John Chamness from the Salvation Army, thank you. Kyle, how do people contact you folks if they want to get more information?
Sure. Well, our website is the easiest place, www.hawaii.salvationarmy.org. Also by phone, my number is 440-1862. And I'll be happy not just to answer questions about giving, but any questions about volunteering, or just wanting to support the Salvation Army, or if they want to schedule a legacy planning seminar, or not gift planning, but estate planning seminar. Yeah. Like I said, it's no solicitations, no obligation, and we just want to help educate folks in the community about the options they have about estate planning.
That's really what it's about. They need to understand that I think for a lot of seniors, when I run into people want to give a legacy, want to have something that's long term, and be a role model for their children. So thank you very much. As I mentioned, our big AGM Place, our 9th annual AGM Place workshop is on Saturday, August 15th at the Alamana Hotel, 8 to 2:45. You'll see a big article in our June, July issue, as well as in a paper coming up in early August, a list of all the workshops there. And as I said, as well, on our website, Generations 808, please go there for all the resources for our AGM Place workshop, our Generations radio show, and all our past archived issues of Generations magazine. So, Kyle and John, thank you so much. I appreciate your time here. I appreciate it, and hopefully we can get the community going. And check out the Kroc Center. Check out the Adult Day Center down on Vineyard. And good luck to you folks all. We're always going to be supporting you folks.
Yeah, thanks, Percy. Thanks so much. Aloha.
Thank you
so much.
Anyway, we're here every Saturday from 5 to 6, every Sunday from 3 to 4. So check us out here on AM 690. As always, we always have the answer. Aloha and live well.